Helping you heal from things that you can't express with words, our next guest brings her compassionate, intuitive, skilled, safe, no BS approach to help leaders, artists, performers, and so many more to stop outperforming their past so they can actually show up fully for their present. Here to tell us more is licensed holistic psychotherapist, high-performance mentor, and best-selling author, Sharon Land. Sharon, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's so good to be here.
It is so good to have you here. I know we're talking all things health and healing today, which is amazing. But when you hear the title, Sharon, holistic psychotherapist, tell us exactly what that means.
Yeah, so I'm a licensed clinical therapist. So I have all of the clinical training and all of the kind of certifications and expertise to be able to apply regular traditional clinical therapy. But being a holistic psychotherapist means that we take it to the deeper level, where we get to the root of where maybe some of the issues that might be presenting themselves to someone shows up. So I look at the body, the mind, the heart, the soul, the spirit, and the whole person, and we allow ourselves to be able to understand who that person is uniquely and also bio-identically, and so that they can be the healthiest, best person that they can be.
I love that. And a lot of us kind of need help in that area to help us be our best versions of ourselves. Why did you first get into this work? What drew you to this work?
Yeah, so I actually started off in more of a healing capacity and as a performance coach. So I was a professional athlete and equestrian.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I started off with that and found that many people who were attracted to the sport were really exceptional at what they were able to do, but they also were in some level outperforming something that they were struggling with, right? And so what I learned is that there was the more that they tried to excel, sometimes the more that they were being held back by this aspect that, you know, was starting to really become a larger, more magnified version of whatever it was. So I quickly started going more into the understanding of like polyvagal regulation and somatic therapy and work of like how we store our emotions in our body, and allowed, you know, professional athletes, and not just in the equestrian world, but you know, in all different aspects of professional athletes, and started to really help them to deal with the psychology and how that is stored in the body, and then allow them to be able to really release that and be their best and their greatest expression. So
that's amazing. Oh my goodness. So you're clearly doing so much healing, so much beautiful work with individuals out there. And as a professional, I do have to ask you, what are you seeing in terms of trends, negative trends really, when it comes to health, both for men and women, that we're seeing so prevalently in today's world?
Yeah, well, I would say it's a complicated trend. So I wouldn't necessarily rate it as like good or bad. However, I do believe that people are more lonely than they've ever been before in their entire lives. And I think that the pandemic really helped us to see that. And the rise of the value of all of these dating applications, right? And how there's, you know, they're being very successful, yet people are still feeling very, very lonely. I also believe that people who have learned how to be successful, either whether it's professionally or maybe in a relationship or maybe even in a physical expression, are finding that that's not enough for them. And so to really take and those things that they've ignored in their lives have started to become more of something that they can't not address. Right?
That's well, that's where you kind of come in handy, right? And you have a collective, especially geared towards women, that's coming up that people can actually participate in. Tell me all about that.
I'm so excited about this. It's the Empowered Woman Collective. And I have, in the past, I've worked with women to help them to express and be able to release trauma from their bodies, because we all store trauma in our bodies in different ways. But I've really expanded upon that, and I have you know, decided to create a community so that we can allow women to come together and really help to support one another. But this particular Empowered Women's Collective is a 4-week program that starts on April 29th, where any woman or anyone who identifies as feminine can come and join. And we're going to actually go over topics. And this particular series is focusing on the body and how we can actually understand how our body can be an empowered place, as opposed to one where many women can identify with being at war with their bodies.
Yes,
right?
And so many of us truly are at war with our bodies, or maybe were at one point in our lives.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm so glad that you have this collective that people can engage in. Now, one other thing before I let you go, you're also an author, a best-selling author. Tell me about your book.
Yeah, and actually today is the 1-year anniversary of the public. I know, isn't it funny how that happened today? Thank you so much.
Amazing.
So it's called The Healer's Journey, and it is a story of my life, part of my life, but at the same time, it's really a story where people can see and discover the healer that's inside of themselves, to be able to have hope that they can heal from any and all things, and that despite the grooming, the programming, whatever experiences we might have had in our lives, that there is another side to that, and there is actually a higher meaning to all of that. And so it's been wonderful. The feedback has been incredible. And it's really helped a lot of people to be able to find their own path towards their own healing and their own greater expression of who they are. So,
well, tell us the name of the book and how people can catch it.
Yeah, The Healer's Journey. And they can, it's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and of course, you know, it's been such a dream to be able to have this story to be published. But more importantly, the reviews that I've received have been incredible. That, you know, they look at that book and they say, oh my gosh, this was me, or you've actually helped me to connect some dots to my own aspect of healing and my own ability to be able to find what my true journey is supposed to be, you know, where my next steps are supposed to be. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for all you are doing for so many out there to help them heal and just be their best selves. We do appreciate it, Sharon.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Of course.